Have you ever imagined what would happen if one day all the electricity in the world just vanished? It sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, but let's really think about it. What would our world look like without that invisible force that powers literally everything we do? The first moments would be pure chaos. The lights would go out, of course, but so would your Wi-Fi, your TV, and your phone, unless you have a power bank. But that won't last forever. In the streets, traffic lights would die, causing immediate gridlock. Subways would grind to a halt, trapping people underground. Elevators would stop, leaving people stuck between floors. Hospitals would switch to backup generators, but those have a limited fuel supply. For the first few hours, it would be a mix of confusion, annoyance, and for some, genuine panic. By the end of the first day, the reality would start to sink in. There would be no way to recharge anything. The internet, the backbone of modern society, would be gone. Communication would be crippled. You couldn't call your family, check the news, or see what's happening just a few miles away. The only information would come from word of mouth, which, as we all know, can be incredibly unreliable. Rumors would spread like wildfire. The global economy would collapse almost instantly. Stock markets rely on electronic trading. Without it, they cease to exist. Banks would be useless. Your money, stored as digital numbers on a server, would be inaccessible. ATMs wouldn't work. Credit cards would be just plastic rectangles. The only currency that would matter is cold, hard cash and whatever you could physically trade. After a week, the struggle for basic necessities would become the primary focus for everyone. Clean water would be a major problem. Most water purification and pumping stations run on electricity. Without them, taps would run dry. You'd have to find a natural water source like a river or a lake and figure out how to purify it, probably by boiling it. But how do you do that? Your electric stove is useless. Your gas stove might work for a while, but the supply chain for natural gas would eventually fail. You need to build a fire. Food would be the next crisis. Refrigerators and freezers would stop working, and all the perishable food would spoil within days. Supermarkets would be emptied, first by panicked shoppers and then by looters. The global food supply chain, which relies on refrigerated trucks, ships, and automated warehouses, would be completely broken. Within weeks, cities would face starvation. People would have to turn to gardening, foraging, or hunting skills that most of us have completely lost. Long-term survival would depend on community and a return to pre-industrial skills. Think about it. No modern medicine manufacturing. Hospitals would run out of supplies. Surgeries would become incredibly risky, performed without advanced equipment. Simple infections could once again become deadly. Our nights would be dark and silent, lit only by firelight and the stars. Without the glow of city lights, the night sky would be breathtakingly beautiful, something most of us have never truly seen. We would rediscover the rhythms of the sun, waking at dawn and sleeping at dusk. Society would have to reorganize itself from the ground up. Large cities would likely become uninhabitable death traps due to the lack of resources. People would migrate to rural areas, forming smaller, self-sufficient communities around sources of water and fertile land. Knowledge would be the most valuable commodity. Not knowledge of coding or digital marketing, but knowledge of farming, blacksmithing, carpentry, and preserving food. Books, the old-fashioned paper kind, would become treasures, repositories of lost wisdom. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? Our entire civilization is built on a foundation of electricity. We are so dependent on it that we barely even notice it's there until it's gone. It's like the air we breathe. This thought experiment isn't meant to scare you, but to make us appreciate the incredible world we live in. It highlights our vulnerability, but also our potential for resilience and adaptation. What do you think would be the biggest challenge in a world without electricity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this video got you thinking, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating what-if scenarios. Thanks for watching.